Morning all, Thursday morning. Let me just centre up this phone a little bit. Just looking at my mat there and thinking, whoa, that's not all going to get in there. Okay, hopefully that's all right. So good morning all. So welcome to this morning's prenatal session. So Pilates and stretch based. And we're going to do some work today as well as on connecting with our pelvic floor, because that's good to do all the time. We're going to be spending some time today on our hands and knees, which is a great position to be in for what we call optimal fetal positioning. So it's encouraging the baby to fall to the front of the stomach where we want them to be for labour. So towards the front of our stomach, looking back towards our spine as opposed to back. So we're going to be spending a little bit of time on our hands and our knees. But of course, if you need to get off your wrists at any time, then please do sit back onto your heels. I won't be staying there for too long because my wrists don't like that position much anyway. So we'll be working on our hands and our knees, so encouraging baby to get into that optimal position for Labour Day. And also working on opening up some space in the pelvis. So particularly from 34 weeks onwards, we want to be starting to think about creating space. So creating space for baby to be able to move down that birth channel and into the wide world. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So we're actually going to be doing everything on the mat. So seated, and then we're going to go hands and knees, and then we will pop onto our backs just for a quick stretch. Won't be there for too long, and then we're going to reverse and come back round again and finish seated again. So lots of work on opening up the pelvis, putting baby in its optimal position for birthday, and some connection with our pelvic floor as well. Okay, so we'll start seated. So make sure you're comfortable and you're warm, because obviously there's not going to be any kind of pace to the class, so do make sure you've got enough layers on. And we will start by sitting in your most comfortable position. Now, cross-legged would be great because it does encourage the pelvis to open up. But if cross-legged just isn't a comfortable position for you, maybe the hips are a little bit tight, then please do feel free to sit however you're most comfortable. Legs out in front or legs in a V shape would do absolutely fine. So I'm just going to transfer to my mats. Okay, so getting ourselves comfortable on our mat. And so now, if anyone like me is getting near the end of pregnancy and is starting to think about helping that baby to really get into the right position, then we really want to be thinking about sitting very tall all the time, so that we've actually got, when we're sat, a little bit of tip forwards on our pelvis, again, which is encouraging the baby to fall towards the front of our stomach and not towards the back. So if we slouch, if I was to sit here and slouch, or maybe if I was on the sofa slouching, then my pelvis is going to tip backwards and baby's going to fall towards my back, which is not what we want for birth. So let's sit up very tall, and so that we can encourage that baby to be where we want it. Draw the spine up lovely and tall and just relax those shoulders back and down. And let's just connect with the breath a little bit. Take a lovely big inhale up through your nose, and then out through your mouth. In through your nose again, and just out through the mouth. And then if you just sink that chin down into your chest, so let that chin come on down, let it sink nice and low. And then a bit of a peak up towards the sky. And then let that chin sink down nice and low again. And then again, eyes up to the sky. And then the last time, just sink that chin on down. And let the head roll, rock and roll from side to side. So Have a little bit of a roll out there on the back of the neck. And then when you're ready, pop your head back up on top. So up you go. And then just take that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Just let it sink nice and low. And then come up through the centre, down to the other side. Let that left ear sink. And then come on up, drop that chin again. And then bring that head back up on up. Stepping around to the right side, so that lovely spine twist, so through that thoracic section. And using that right hand to prop ourselves up lovely and tall. So remember, we're keeping that lovely tall spine to keep that baby from falling towards our back. And then just come back round, step across to that left side, really push yourself up tall with that left hand. And then just come back to the centre. So let's release along the rib cage. So if you put your right hand down, let's go up with the left and across. So my ribs always feel a little bit sore in the morning where I'm sleeping on my side. So come back to the centre. And because I'm not moving out of that position very much, I'm trying to stay on my side for baby, yeah, it gets quite sore in the morning, a bit like pressure sores, I suppose. And then just come back, step down left, come up right, over you go. And then just come back to centre. And then if you go over one more time, lovely. And then just release that arm here. Now what we're going to do is change our legs a little bit so that we're actually moving into a butterfly position. So we have the soles of the feet together. And if you find this a little bit tight through your hips, shimmy those feet further away from you. So the closer your feet are towards you, then the harder it's going to be on those hips. So just take those feet forwards if you need to. You can hold on around your ankles so that we stay nice and tall, all around the shin, wherever feels comfortable to get to. And I just want you to connect with your breath here. Just allow those knees to drop out. And again, we're creating lots of space in the pelvis in this position. Keep those shoulders just relaxed back and down. And then let's hold that butterfly and start to engage that pelvic floor. So as you inhale, I want to imagine you're drawing the pelvic floor, so that hammock of muscles, up. So you're lifting the weight of that baby, weight of your uterus, all the blood and the fluid, the amniotic fluid that's in there, drawing everything up like a big hammock. And then releasing, but we're releasing under control. We're not letting everything just flop back down to the floor. So squeezing up on the inhale breath. And then releasing on the exhale breath. Squeezing up on the inhale breath. And then down on that exhale breath. And again, if we just do that one more time. And releasing on that exhale breath. Lovely. So let's take the stretch forwards a little bit if we can. So bump's going to go down into the space we've created between our legs. So let's just fold slightly forwards from those hips. So it might be that we don't go very far. So I used to be able to get my chest down on my feet. But now, of course, there's just too much in the way. Just can't fold that way. It's a £5.9 apparently he's supposed to be at the minute. So it's quite a bit of weight. And it's about 12 kilos at this stage in pregnancy that you're carrying on your front there. So it's quite a lot of extra weight. Okay, let's pop on up out of that one. So what we're going to do is just bring ourselves round onto our hands and onto our knees. Okay. Lovely. So we're just going to take a nice little stretch out through that upper back and just spending time here. Again, like I said, we're allowing the baby to fall towards the stomach. So we're imagining the stomach like a hammock now. So these belly muscles like a hammock, and we want baby to relax back into that hammock, looking towards our spine. So spending time on our hands and knees is fantastic. Doesn't have to be scrubbing the floor, so it can just be movements like we're going to do today. So we're going to go round, hip circling. Also just feels really nice. And then if you reverse the direction, so round you go with the hip circles. And then just pause back in the centre. Let's work through cat and cow. So arching up into that cat, dropping your head, and then falling down into your cow. Let the head come up. And then again, if you roll on up, dropping back down again. And again, let's roll on up. So up we go. And down we go. Lovely. Let's pause on a nice tabletop back here. So pausing here. I want you to take your right leg out to the side. So we're going to stretch that right leg out. Keep those hands comfortable and those wrists comfortable. So I'm just going to come up a bit higher there. It's a bit more comfy. And then just hold that stretch. So you're going to feel that stretch through the right inner thigh. But it's also, again, it's opening up the pelvis. It's just creating more room for that baby. And in your own time, let's bring that leg back in gently. And just take a little sit back here into child's pose. Remember to take those knees nice and wide as you come back. So drop back. Chance to take the weight off our wrists a little bit. Maybe a little bit of movement side to side, whatever feels good for you. And then let's come up again. So I think I can get my left leg out. So we're going to get just about enough room. So left leg's going to go out to the side. So feel that stretch through that inner thigh. Again, thinking about opening up that pelvis, so creating lots of room for baby. And then let's go ahead and just step that leg in. Take it wide again, and if you sit back into that child's pose, so you don't have to take the head to the floor, we can just stay up on the elbows. That's a comfortable place for me, but going any lower wouldn't be. And let's just take the hands over to the right. Get that nice lengthening along the rib cage. And then if we just step over to the left side, and again get that nice lengthening along the rib cage. And then just coming back to the centre, walk yourself back up. So let's roll that spine all the way up to the top. Lovely. So we are going to pop onto our backs just to release our lower back. But like I said, we're not going to be there for very long because it's not a great position for us. And certainly in later pregnancy, anything past your second trimester. So let's pop down as comfortably as you can. So gently does it. Okay, lovely. So let's take the arms out wide. If you haven't quite got enough room, you can cactus your arms. And just let's have a little bit of a roll for that lower back. So let's just wake that lower back up. So not rolling too far, of course. So I'm finding now I'm getting a little bit of sciatic pain on that left side. So if I roll too far, it's a little bit uncomfortable. So just keep it as small as you need to. Bring that head in as well. So just going from side to side. And then just come back to the centre. Lovely. Just release those arms down there. We're going to take our feet a little bit closer towards our bottom, and we're going to bring them in towards our chest, so our knees are going to come up. Grab hold of those knees, remember, might need to take them wide. And I just want you to relax into this position here, so creating some space, again in that pelvis, opening up that pelvis. Maybe a little bit of pressure through the hands to open up. And then just bring those legs together again. So popping those feet down, pop yourself onto your side, little push on up. So I can feel that's already getting a little bit uncomfortable for me just after those few minutes. So we're going to pop back over again. So we're working our way back up through the same pattern. So let's come back onto those hands and knees. And round you go with those hips again. So circle out with those hips. And then if we reverse direction, round we go again. And then pause in the middle, work up through cat and cow, so rolling up, dropping down, let's roll up again, and let's drop down to neutral spine. Step out with that right one, that lovely inner thigh stretch. So again, creating lots of room in that pelvis. Adjust those wrists if you need to. And then let's just pop back to the centre then. Change over. Holding that stretch left inner thigh. And then let's step in. Take those knees wide. Sink back into that child's pose. So back you go. And you're on those forearms. A little bit of a wiggle if that feels comfortable for you. And then step over to that right side and take that hand on top. So nice release all along the sides of the rib cage. And then over you go left, take that one right. Just come back to the centre, walk yourself in, try and roll that spine up, and let's be lovely and tall. Okay, lovely. So let's pop onto our bottoms again to finish. So we're going to come onto our bottoms. Lovely. So you're sitting however you are most comfortably. So we've worked our way down, we're now working our way back up. So let's draw that spine up tall. Lovely, so allowing that pelvis to just tip forwards a little bit if we want it to, helping that baby to move towards the front of the belly. So let's step on around to that right side, so we're just releasing the spine again, push up lovely and tall. And this time hold the stretch, just look left, and then just come back to centre, and then over you go to the left, push up tall. Peeking right, come back to centre, and then back round we go. Lovely, landing right, come up left, over you go, release that length of the rib cage, back to the centre, just do that one more time, and take it down, left one, so up with that right one, over you go. And back to centre, do that one more time, over, and all the way back down. Lovely. So let's take a nice deep breath in, all the way to the top, and then exhale. And then again, if you take it all the way up to the top, lovely, and then exhale down. Beautiful, lovely. Roll those shoulders back. Lovely big roll to finish. relaxing there. Take that breath to the top. Hands come down. And we are there. Lovely. So I hope that has woken you up a little bit for the day and just got the body mobile and encouraged the baby to drop into the optimal position for Labour Day, which could be anytime soon for me. So stay safe, folks, and enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you on Monday morning. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.